going down. It's going down, 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 down. It's going
They're going to kill me. I told them to send me a video holding an object and start nodding.
Anything is a dildo when you really put your mind to it. There's no such thing as too large or too sharp. Every time you stop to question yourself, I want you to tell yourself, I can, and I will.
That's right, Brandy. You can and you will, my friend. Right?
Absolutely.
There you go. Welcome to the
Although I don't
Bleeding
know
Edge.
the book.
Welcome to the Bleeding Edge. There you go. That's how we do it, folks. Over here at the Bleeding Edge, we like to welcome our cherished, wonderful new guests and creators onto our show by starting them right off with intense TikTok water bottle dildo videos. Why not? And as you can see, we've already got some interesting. If you've ever checked out any of the actual Plenty of Fish or online dating live streaming, kind of what we have going on with Andrew over here with the empty seat is kind of what you see on there a lot of times, right? Is this some woman like with an empty couch, and it's just completely silent? There's no sound, no one talking, nothing. That's the live stream.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, Jazz. Oh, Jazz is there.
Hi.
Hey, Jazz.
She's behind the chair.
Jazz, is this going to be some weird dichotomy where oh shit, there's Chris. Chris!
What's going on?
Dude, why didn't you just go in the private chat and be like, Jeff, you motherfucker?
Oh, because I'm trying to fix this damn camera.
Oh, I was about to say, dude. Oh my God. I'm telling you right now, folks, look, this is on some serious shit here. There's nothing worse than friggin' not realizing that somebody's down there at the bottom of my screen. There's only so many of these little blocks I can see beneath me that show the people. So at some point they got to go beneath. So sometimes people will be stuck there for 20 minutes. I just don't see them. So I feel like an asshole, but it's one of those things. I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh no, you good? You good? Hold on, I'm just looking at all these extra messages people send to me.
Hey, you know what? There's nothing like this. Is a great, folks. Renee isn't awesome. Brandy isn't awesome. When random people just pop in all of a sudden on the show, out of nowhere, we're already live, and here they are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love it.
I was waiting, Chris. I was waiting on telling you all about Chris as a surprise. I was gonna let him pop up. What up, Jazz?
I'm what they call a pleasant surprise.
Hi.
Hey, Jazz. Yes, Chris, you are a pleasant surprise, and it's good to see you back on the Bleeding Edge, my friend. How are you doing?
What's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. Not much. Just doing the usual routine here, MCU Phase 5, Phase 6 preview. I'm not sure which installment this is at this point, Renee. I think it's the 5th one or the 6th one or something?
We're in 5. We're in 5.
Okay, 5th one.
Phase
so,
5.
No. Our installment of this series or whatever. Basically.
Oh.
Because, yes, folks, we are going to do this all the way down. We're going to do this all the way through to Secret Invasion. We are. Without question. When we're going to cover Secret Invasion, I don't know, since I don't know what night it's going to come out on, but either way, let's get shit straight right off the bat. This is the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. I am, of course, the humbled creator and co-host of this fine, professional, kid-friendly, PG-13, family-orientated, podcast, YouTube channel, live stream show. Clearly, as you can see with my shirt, very kid-orientated. You know what I'm saying? And just to be clear, ladies, this is actually what I think in my head when I'm talking to you. On dating sites and shit and whatnot, or in person, this is all I'm thinking the whole time. So I might as well just wear this all the time on dates. Your hole is my goal, baby.
Your
That's right.
hole is my goal.
That's right, baby. And I don't know nothing about that board or whatever on there. I didn't buy it for that. I don't play that beanbag shit. I'm from New York, baby. We don't fuck with
It's
beanbags.
called cornhole.
Cornhole, whatever. Yeah, I don't do no cornhole. We just fight dudes. like hockey, like minor league hockey, Renee. But no. We're
Have
here
fun
to do.
first and ask later.
There you go, Andrew. All right, so we got the whole squad here. Everybody's assembled now. Let me go ahead and start off with the newest additions to the MCU's Bleeding Edge panel. Now, first off, I'm going to do ladies first, of course, and go to Brandy. Now, Brandy, please, if you would, since even though I talked to you for 3.5 hours today, because I'm so long-winded and whatnot and everything, and you felt bad for me, and whatnot and everything. No, I'm just kidding. But Renee, of course, I'm not bullshitting, right? Me and her did talk for like 2.5 hours or whatever.
No, I believe it.
But and I made her laugh a lot. But no, please tell us about your awesome drunk podcast and whatnot and everything.
So I am on a podcast called Drunk Bitches Be Like, and it's me and my friend Mindy. And the number one question we get asked is are you actually drunk? And the answer is absolutely yes. So we basically have a lot of drinks, and then we start recording ourselves just chatting to each other. It kind of all started, we thought that like once you start drinking, you can kind of solve all the world's problems. So we figured we might as well record it so that way we could, listen to it later. And it turns out you don't, but it's really funny when you try. So, it's a good time, and it's called Drunk Bitches Be Like. And you can find us on all of the apps and things.
There you go. Hey, that's what we like to hear. That's perfect. Now, of course, after the drunk bitch or whatever, what is the title again?
It's called Drunk Bitches Be Like.
Drunk Bitches Be Like. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Catchy.
Are there a lot? I just want to know really quick. Are there a lot of similar titles like that?
So there's a couple out there, I think, that we found. There's some, I think, called Drunk Bitches, but they haven't been recording for a few years. So when we put it out there and everything, there was some similar titles out there, but none that were currently still recording. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now, Matthew, my friend, Andrew, I don't know why the fuck I'm calling you Matthew. I'm tripping, man. I'm thinking about something we were talking about in the studio. Andrew, you were very illuminated before, but after your after your rest break, you came back and you're like in the Bat Cave. That's okay though.
I'll get it. Yeah, Jazz moved it around.
You're okay. You're okay.
Women
brother.
always messing it up.
Well, anyways, folks,
There
Andrew is the better half of our regular guest, Jasmine, who is of course our full-fledged LBGT representative, guest, regular guest on our panel and whatnot and everything, and handles all that business, along with talking all kinds of grimy shit, just like me, even tops me sometimes, believe it or not, Chris. You haven't even met Jazz yet. She'll fuck you up, man. But anyways, now Andrew is a good ass dude. I just did some reaction videos with me the other night. He helped me figure some shit out that I've been messing up on me and whatnot, which I appreciate. And Andrew, welcome to the panel, baby.
Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. And hey, your window is right above the X-Men logo, which is always good. That's a good place to be.
And especially if it's the old X-Men cartoon.
That's right. It's better than being in that fucking place. I'll tell you right now. You don't even want to know about all that. You don't want to know about all that shit. The night she hugged on me. You know what I'm saying? Did you know about that, Chris?
What about She-Hulk?
No, this right here.
You do know that's like what they call it? I can't remember. It's from Futurama, but that's the best way to die. That's just the best way to die.
That's the night that She-Hulk popped by Cherry, man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like I need to help you with your Photoshop work.
It was called Snoo to death.
Yeah, Snoo, yeah.
And this is actually
that's by Snoo.
This is an example of what actually happened to my penis after episode 7 of the She-Hulk Disney Plus series. This is a scientific medical journal article I found to explain my permanent erectile dysfunction issues from She-Hulk episode 7 right here. Just to be clear. Anyways, folks, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Oh, what? What's that? Oh, shit. I don't even know about that either. Anyways, now, so we also, of course, have making his second appearance, Chris. Chris, what up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, it's been a long time, dude. How long has it been?
It's been a couple months, maybe. Yeah. A couple months.
Yeah, time flies in content creation.
Yeah.
But you're a busy guy, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Tuesdays 8:30 p.m. Thursdays 9 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Blurred's Eye View. You can catch us on YouTube and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We just came off the back end. We just got into the record book. We are one of the podcasts that was part of the world's longest video stream. So we just cleared that hurdle.
No shit.
Yes.
Wow.
So I think it was 48 hours. So yeah, we just cleared that. So we're waiting on the plaque now. So we're part of that group now.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah. So we've been getting it in. We've been full grind mode for this past season. Actually, season 9 we're in, and just celebrated 100 episodes.
Hey, congratulations.
So yeah, just
Hey, all I can say is you are one on point creator, man, because I'll tell you what, this guy knows my schedule better than me. I hit him up real quick to try to ask him to come on the panel. He already knew what I was going to say. He's like, oh, you want me to come on for the 7 o'clock show tonight and whatnot and do the MCU Phase 5, Phase 6 preview series? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I didn't realize I had talked to him about it and whatnot and everything. I thought like he was like reading my mind like Professor Xavier or some shit.
Oh no, bald is by choice. It's just growing back. But no. Yeah, it's just been a busy, man. But I just keep a lot of stuff in line, man. It's just what I do. So.
I got to give you a lot of credit, man, that you can remember that shit. I know you didn't write it down. You remembered that off recall.
No, that's all muscle memory.
There you go, man. Yep, and hey, I mean, my muscle memory after episode 7 of She-Hulk.
Hot D.
You know what I'm saying? That's about the equation of it. So, anyways,
I literally came in. Let me see. It was 1:30 in the morning. DC was doing, because, like I said, we were doing this marathon, and he was doing like a quiz, and I popped in real quick, and he was doing like round table questions, and I was probably like 5th or 6th in line. Every time my round came, he asked a question, I hit it. I think I did 5 questions straight, and I was like, all right, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I'm out.
Hey, it's good to see you again, man. We're glad to have you on here to cover some Marvel, and hopefully we'll be able to get you on something else at some point down the road, and hopefully I'll be able to come over by you at some point and make some content with you at some point over on your home turf.
Oh yeah, we gotta. I think I'm doing a Nerd Jeopardy again.
Oh, Nerd Jeopardy, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, Nerd Jeopardy goes over well with a lot of people because I'm going to ask a lot of out of control questions.
That sounds awesome. Anything's got to be better than, I'll tell you right now, than going on some of the trivia shows I've done at the Religion Broadcasting Network before with Alexis and Jesse. Oh my God, why is Jesse, whatever the hell his name is. Either way, sorry, Jesse, I can't remember your last name right now. I apologize. Even though I do a show with you once a month called the Whiskey Rebellion and everything and whatnot. Jesse Starcher. Anyways, honestly, they'd have me on for trivia shows where I wouldn't know a single damn thing about anything we were talking about. Like, I would just be fucking a joke. Like, I would be last and like last, like horrible.
Oh no, I'm asking I'm not even asking basic questions. Like I'm from Star Wars, Star Trek, comics, hell,
A little bit of everything.
and I'm not even going basic with it. I'm like, oh no, we going there.
But I make it interesting though. I'll tell you right now, the answers I send in when I don't know the answers to the questions are really cool. They're dope. Sometimes I just put out like women, certain actresses and like women's I had crushes on back in the 90s. I put their names in as the answers, right? Or sexual positions.
I mean, I'm asking questions like Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 3, episode 2.
Oh, shit. That sounds intense.
Yeah, I'm going in. I go in.
All right.
We're doing it.
Well, you remember Renee, Loki's mom. Renee is now a special guest host on the Sunday show, which I'm very happy to have been able to give her that title. Renee, it is wonderful to be with you again on a Sunday. It's good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too. I'm happy to be here and happy to see all you guys. I think I've met Matthew once before briefly, but Randy I have not met, and I'm really not sure about.
Now you're calling Andrew Matthew too?
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. See what you started there. Andrew. I got you now. And yeah, I'd like to say, and I'm sorry, Chris, is that, and the other, what's the other gentleman's name? The names have disappeared.
You've met Chris before.
Chris, yes.
I'm pretty sure. I think so. Maybe not. Nah, I'm tripping. You weren't on that show.
It doesn't matter, but so I get.
I'll leave a memorable stamp.
Yeah, you believe me. You'll like Chris.
I think I would remember. That's why I'm saying that. And I do.
Yeah.
And I love your portrait behind your shoulder there of Saint Stan Lee.
Oh yes, thank you. I got another one. I got to put it up. It's Jack the King Kirby. I just got to get that one up. Yeah. Right. So.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? Before we get into the Guardians of the Galaxy, I've got some throwback shit for us that's going to make things feel really positive and happy and everything and whatnot. I thought, why not go a little old school, do something different for y'all? So, nothing crazy. This is actually going to be positive, I think. I think y'all will like it. We'll see. I could be wrong. But, Renee had never seen one of these before until the other day.
That's an awesome opening shot.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe.
Yep.
If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanos.
That's so cool. What a great.
I made him!
Yeah! Or they had the Infinity Stone colors on the marbles. Couldn't students see who he was then?
Spider-Man!
He's coming to us.
The Iron Man suit?
Yeah! Oh, that was so cool!
So that's what we use. Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
I am so excited. Whatever, we'll be Avengers. Oh my god!
It will still exist.
Oh, I'm reading new flashbacks of the What's going on? Oh my god. He just crushed the Infinity. The Tetra. Oh my god.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
That chick running away from that couch like that and whatnot is actually kind of like the same reaction that women have to my penis after what happened to Shield episode 7. You know what I'm saying? They just run away like that, screaming and shit and whatnot. I don't blame them, to be honest with you. But what can you do, right? So either way, no. So what do y'all think? I'm gonna start right off. I'll go to you, Brandy. What's it like? I mean, obviously you've seen reaction videos before, whatnot like that, right?
I've seen some reaction videos, like open box videos and things like that. I've never seen like the girls reacting to the Avengers, like.
Oh, really? You've never seen it before either? Oh,
no.
Hey, that's awesome. You know what? I love that. Renee hadn't seen the last time we did it. Renee hadn't seen it.
Yeah, no, that was entirely too much. Like, I got excited. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm the person that gets tickets to the first showing of the first, like, day when it comes out. But that was a lot of screaming and woos and things and like jumping around on couches that I'm like, it's a trailer, guys. Come on. I mean, when I was in the theater and Captain America, like, catches the hammer, like, I clapped. I cheered a little bit, but for the trailer, I don't know.
See, I respect that shit. I do. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go around here. I got to go around the table on this. Chris.
Yes.
Chris, Do you not? I respect anybody that gets emotionally that attached and that tied to like. Yeah, I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've never seen that video before. Like I've never seen that before, but I do watch the reactions of everyone who's in there, and I can count at least 4, maybe 5 of those young ladies who are definitely invested in these characters.
I
can
are
see
too.
it.
Yep.
I can see them, and so I was just like, those are the ones I'm paying attention to. I just wasn't expecting the one running off the couch, but I'm like, hey, whatever. Everybody has their cup of tea. So I think it's dope that that they're invested like that. You're talking to someone who I've been a Black Panther fan since I was 12. So to see that first trailer and me tear up because I'm like, I'm seeing someone I've read about pretty much my entire childhood, and then they're getting getting exposed to these characters that we've been reading about forever, and seeing this movie, and I've read that entire series, the Infinity Gauntlet run, and as a fan, I'm like, I think I know how it's going to go, but I may not know how exactly how it's going to go. So yeah, I mean, it's dope that I see it though. I see them that way.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you right now, I've been loving Black Panther for a long ass time too, and oh yeah, of course, Brandy, go ahead, jump in.
Well, I just wanted to say, because I agree, like, I teared up on some of the like trailers and things like that. My only problem, I think, with that video is that, like, watching it for the first time, I'm looking at it and I'm wondering how many of them are reacting like that for likes on YouTube versus reacting like that because they genuinely like it.
No, those are all legitimate. Like Chris said, those are all legitimate reactors.
Like actual, like they're actually excited about it.
Yeah.
See, if that's the case, that's cool. But like, I guess I'm a little bit skeptical when I watch things like that. And I'm like, okay, are you doing this for the camera?
If you watch enough of them, after a while, you can tell pretty quickly whether they're faking it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they're really invested. They're really into it. Like you could tell.
I mean, that's
like,
cool to
there's
see
certain
people
notes.
invested.
There's certain notes that hit, and I'm like, okay, yeah, because that was a note. You know, that was a note. The Peter Parker and Doctor Strange, that was a note. Seeing Peter and Tony interact, still funny. That was no.
No, but Renee, and then I'll go to you, Andrew. Renee, this is your second time ever seeing one of these reactions, right? Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, I watched it maybe a week or so ago when you played it.
That's the same. Okay, you're right. I used the same one.
Yeah, it was. It's interesting, like you say, to watch it, and I see where you're coming from, Brandy. That it, are they just, because that's the expectation that they're going to react and they're going to do that, or versus is this genuine? So I'll side on that it's genuine because that's, I think it was set up that way, but it really reminds me of the Beatles, the reaction to the Beatles. Go on YouTube and look at some of these old footage of Ed Sullivan's show or what. There's a really good one called the TAMI show, and it's the Rolling Stones and it's James Brown. It doesn't really matter. The girls would react the same way, and it's kind of like a self-feeding thing. It's like one starts and then it just kind of, and you notice they were in groups. Most of them were like 2 or 3, in pair or whatever. So they're kind of feeding the emotion off each other. So yeah, what's interesting it would be to see a bunch of guys reacting the same way, so we could do a comparison. One thing, there's a kind of a famous show called Candy Camera, which I won't go into, but anyway, they set this. It's a setup for the.
Is that at all connected to a porno drive-in?
I was going to say, do people not know what Candy Camera is anymore?
Yeah.
Candy Camera. Well, anyway, but anyway, the setup was that you've got 3 or 4 10-year-old boys and 3 or 4 10-year-old girls, and the setup is there's new teachers coming in. For the boys, it was this beautiful. I mean, she had the blonde hair. I mean, she looked with everything like she was, nice. She had on a nice dress and everything, but obviously she was very shapely. Well, the boys, their reaction was that they were just they were just kind of frozen and whatnot. And the whole time she's asking them questions and whatnot, and then she leaves the room. And then they start slapping themselves. And, oh my God, oh my God, this is going to be our teacher. And how they had held in. Now they did the same thing with the girls, and they bring in a handsome, very young, really got sharp suit and everything. Same thing, asking some questions and whatnot. The whole time they're, you can just see they're just.
So the guys were so excited they were jerking each other off.
I'm talking about slapping, kids, they, how kids go, oh my God, and just kind of overreact, how boys will do that. But the
You're like, oh my God, real life boobies.
Real life, exactly. They weren't saying that, but that's what they wanted to say. But then the girls, they kind of let it out. They were giggling around this guy. Oh my God! And then and they just kept on just giggling the same way. So,
well, I've told you before, Renee. I can pull up some reaction videos right now for all of you, Andrew, where I can show you women like watching the other Infinity War trailer, where you see Cap come out with his beard for the first time out of the shadows, and you could see the women orgasming spontaneously, like during the reaction, right? Like their panties are wet. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously. But no, Andrew, have you ever frequented watching the reaction videos of like the Marvel stuff before?
I watch reaction videos all day because that's what Jazz has on the TV all day.
So that's what Jazz does. Oh, okay.
Yes. So see, I actually have a good
description.
I can usually tell when there's natural reaction or if it's a fake. Just trying to, try to get clout for it. I have a good sense of reading people about it. And as for me, I've really never got any really excited over movie trailers. The only time I really ever did that is when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time. It's the only time I ever freaked out.
I like that. You ever see that video of that chick that climbed through the McDonald's drive-through or whatever, whatnot, and said she was going to go Super Saiyan on the guy because they didn't have chicken nuggets?
Yep.
I don't. Unfortunately, folks, I don't have that one to play right now. It's actually on my restream right now, or else I would grab it right now and play it. It's really fucking cool, but we'll save it for another time. But Andrew, that's good to know. So basically, you watch reaction videos 24/7. Okay. So
not by choice.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, either way. So you tell me. Do you do I like watching the chicks react together as a group? Like I've seen guys react and cry before the MCU trailers board and stuff like that. I have, and I respect it and whatnot and everything. Like I bust their balls and everything in the comment section, but then I wrap it up with an LOL and I'm like, nah, I got it, brother. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like no, but like I actually I like watching. I find it very visceral seeing the ladies react to the Marvel stuff.
Well, it's nice to see people genuinely happy. It's like you don't see that too often. People are either trashing each other and stuff like that. But when you see people actually happy for real, then it kind of makes you feel a little happy inside.
Especially when you've been ingrained in it for so long, and you be like, see, that's the feeling I've been having all this time.
It's like it's not just me.
See, and you know what? And honestly, and I'll tell you, Chris, that it's I think one of the things that that at some point we're gonna figure out how to flush. Me and Renee are gonna figure out how to flush this out more. Maybe you too. We'll figure out how to flush this out more and have more discussions about this kind of stuff. But you would understand that for me, up until Chadwick Boseman became the Black Panther, I only had one hero in my life, and that was Thomas Sowell. And because of Chadwick Boseman and his performance of Black Panther and the lion of a fucking man that he was and still is, God rest his soul, I have a second hero now in my life, and they're both African American men, and I ain't PC as fuck at all. You know what I'm saying? It don't fucking matter what color skin they have and shit and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give fucking Chadwick a blowjob. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean? But I shake that fucking motherfucker's hand. You better believe it. You know what I mean?
It'd be hard to do now.
He's actually one of the few actors who I've actually seen all of his work. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just like, oh, I've seen him in this, or I've seen it. And then I was just like, this is a good movie. And then just watching his work, now I'm like, yeah, I've seen everything he's done.
Well, just to be clear, Renee, Chadwick is so fucking dope that he even gets erections even when dead. Just to be clear. Like, right? Seriously, that's how dope he is. But no, Chadwick's the man. And I even at one point considered having getting my first tattoo, having something related with him. but I just couldn't figure anything out that would be small. And that it was everything. It would be too big. Everything I wanted to do was too big.
You could put Chadwick Boseman's penis.
Oh yeah, on my face, on my forehead, or something.
No, gosh, no. I'd be tasteful. Put it.
Well, I mean, look.
If you can make it tasteful.
I made it clear here. I've made a bleeding edge that because I care so much about diversity on here, and just like Disney.
No, I just like how Andrew can. Like you can make it tasteful.
Yeah. No, because we care so much about diversity and inclusivity and all that here and whatnot. I'm telling you right now that. I have my contract with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios and Disney has just like Brie Larson's, to where if I suck dick, I've got to suck a big black dick along with all the other dicks too. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be inclusive, right? So
Nick Fury.
Yeah, we can't be having just brown and white.
Nick Fury. Would you do Nick Fury?
No, I don't think I'd do Nick Fury. But I will say this though, I won't bullshit. No. I will say this. I do think that Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't know whose dick you're gonna sit.
Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, I think is a very attractive man for his age. I think that a lot of young women would probably be happy to kick it with him personally. Dude's ageless. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of experience too there.
He's younger than me. He looks younger than me.
Oh, he does. He's great. He's a good-looking man. Very, very handsome.
Oh, Anthony Mackie? Oh, don't even get me started on Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie.
No, but Chris, but on top of that point too, I love the fact
Fishburne.
that Laura. Hey, let's not get into Lawrence Fishburne. Let's not get into Event Horizon, baby.
I love Lawrence
Don't take me in that direction.
I've loved Lawrence Fishburne since Apocalypse Now.
I know Sam is 73 or 74.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, he looks good.
Now you got me fucked up. Now you got me thinking about how badly I want to review that horror film with Lawrence Fishburne, Event Horizon at some point. I've always wanted to do it.
Event Horizon?
Yeah. That's a classic, man. Classic psychological.
That is a good movie.
That is a good ass movie, man. Good
it's
cast.
Nothing. That back then when they showed like a trailer or something, you really didn't know what you were in for. And this was one of those. That was one. Event Horizon.
Oh man,
one of those films you had no idea what you were in for.
Yeah, they give way too much away on trailers nowadays.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah,
sci-fi horror. You were thinking you're getting a sci-fi. No one knew you were getting a sci-fi horror film. It was just
exactly.
Yeah, all Alien. I remember the Alien trailer. It was only that opening where the letters Alien pop up on the screen and the egg. That's all it was.
It gets you just enough. Just enough.
That's all it takes.
That's all. That's all it takes. Well, tell She-Hulk that. You know what I'm saying? See how that plays out. Either way, no. But bottom line, I don't know about y'all. Just really quick, does anybody have a personal choice? I personally love that Infinity War trailer. That's my favorite one out of the two. Does anybody disagree with me on that, or are we all on the same page with that one?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
The other one's pretty good, but I like this one. I like the one with Cap catching Thanos with the gauntlet and everything and whatnot.
Oh, for the in game.
Yeah. No. For Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Battling Wakanda. That scene. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, most definitely. No, and I'll tell you right now. I know exactly what you're talking about as far as those trailers go, Andrew. As far as how they, they don't even match the films and whatnot and everything and all that nowadays. Well, I'll tell you that one. I don't know, what y'all's go-to would be in that situation. But again, not that I'm trying to go full flashback mode or whatever and whatnot on Sundays, but I actually have one more for you before we get into Guardians of the Galaxy. I think you guys will like it. And we can talk about that exact concept right there of fucking what good point that you brought up there, Andrew. How these trailers oversell shit now a lot of times.
Let's call it like I say it.
I've got guests that before on the show that when I would play this trailer, like where they would even start to get the hint that I was going to play one of these trailers, they would like start to groan and like get in the private chat and swear at me. Okay. The Batman, trailer 2.
What you got for me, Battinson? What you got for me, Matt Reeves?
Damn, that guy is passionate as shit.
Very much.
I was gonna say he seemed really excited, but I think he tried to oversell it a little bit.
No.
I'm with you, Andrew.
No, hold on. Come on. I'm sorry, but I think he's real. I really do. I think he gets that pumped.
I mean, he could very well be a very huge Batman fan, and that's no problem. But there's certain scenes in that trailer I know were hype scenes.
He's a massive DC fan. That's what it is. He's I've seen him only ever react like this to this and the Snyder Cut.
Okay. So yeah, that would explain it, right? Yeah, that would explain that. Because granted, that movie was bomb. I loved it.
It was.
The score is fucking amazing. It's probably one of the badass scores I've ever heard. You know, the scene where he busts through the fire chasing after Penguin, the scene where he's in the subway and he's beating up the thugs, and in the scene when they're shooting and he's walking down the hall and he's just taking bullets on. Those were the hype moments for me. But I had to reserve my judgment because it was Robert Pattinson, and I had to learn to reserve my judgment because we had this same, people were like, oh, like Heath Ledger, rest in peace. Heath Ledger, they were like, oh, he's the Joker. And people were like, I don't think that's the perfect thing. To this day.
Well, I mean,
good Joker.
I'll go back around to you on the same question, Chris. Now, I think this is a perfect example right here, Andrew. I'll ask you. You've seen the Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you tell me even, and I'm talking the teaser trailer too, where he beats the shit out of that guy, right?
Yeah.
Now that shit like blew people away. When you watch people do the trailer reactions of that scene of him beating that dude up, that sold Pattinson to a lot of the fandom, I think, right there. But like, you tell me, I think that's one of the best trailers I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, actually, when I did first, I didn't really have high expectations for it before anything. When I heard about it and I heard he was played, and I kept thinking, it's like, oh my god, shiny vampire dude. But then when that trailer dropped, I was like, okay, now they got my attention, and then they showed you a little bit more, and I was like, all right, cool. And then when I saw the movie, I was very well, surprised. I was proven wrong to myself that, man, he pulled it off big time. He did it way better than I could have ever thought.
If anything, I think you tell me, Renee, I think that that trailer being so damn good maybe hurt the film a little bit. If you think about it, Tom, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I remember, I believe I either did we did the trailer drop either with you or with another show, but I liked it. I mean, I remember seeing that trailer and like I say, I was really impressed with it, and I wasn't sure about Pattinson, but then when I saw him in the trailer, I said, well, maybe he's going to bring a different dynamic to the Bruce Wayne character. And then when I saw the movie, I don't have this quite as positive a reaction as the other folks here, but the movie itself is okay. I liked it, well enough. I thought it was a little overlong, but I wasn't that happy with Robert's performance. I'll say that.
Well, hey, let's be optimistic. They're going to give him another chance, and a third chance. So we'll see if he gets it right.
Sure.
Brandy, did you feel like this was a perfect example of what Andrew mentioned as far as like maybe the overselling of the trailers, or the trailers are too well done?
No, she's mute.
You're mute, Brandy.
There we go. So I haven't seen the trailer since I've seen the movie. So that was actually kind of interesting to watch it now, because as I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, well, I mean, it's the whole movie. Like the whole time I was watching the trailer, I was like, okay, well, they've hit all the highlights, all the like hot spots of the movie. So you could watch that trailer, know exactly what's going to happen the entire time. And honestly, because it's Batman and it's when he's younger, there's never a point in time when you have any doubt that he's going to survive anything. So there's never anything that it's like, oh, well, he's not going to die. Oh, he got lit on fire. That's fine, because he's going to survive. It's Batman. So he comes out of this because he's going to have a future. So Like, I feel like the trailer itself, like, it's a badass trailer, don't get me wrong. I think it's fantastic, it's exciting, like, all those things, and it made you want to watch the movie, and I think they had to do this with this one because there was so much doubt about Robert Pattinson playing Batman. They really needed to display all the different, like, ways that he was a badass and he could play Batman. But I think as far as, like, just a trailer is concerned, like, they put so much in it that, like, you don't even need to watch the movie. You already know it's going to happen. Which I didn't have the same reservations with Robert Pattinson. I had seen him in a few other things besides Twilight, which is what everybody kind of pigeonholed him as. And so I thought he had a little bit more range, and I thought he'd do well with the character. And I think maybe like the opening scenes when they started out the trailer and had like him like in the train station, I think it was, when he was like, you know, beating up the guys and everything. If they'd had included that with a little less towards the end, I think it would have still done well. But like they put everything in there. And so I feel like at one point you're going so far with the trailers that it's like, okay, well, I don't need to see the movie now because I've seen everything that's going to happen.
Okay, Chris, last question to you, and then we're going to go into Guardians of the Galaxy. Either way, regardless. Now, I agree with Renee. I think the movie was like 30 minutes too long or 20 minutes too long. If they could have, if they could have shaved that down a little bit and whatnot, I mean, the movie a little bit more compact, I feel like the energy would have been better.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
That third act, I agree. That third act did kind of push it a little bit. Other than that, I had to hold back judgment, withhold my reservations because, you know, like Brandy said, she's seen him in other things, and I know he's a good actor. It was just he's best known for
Shiny Vampire.
Twilight, you know, Shiny Vampire. So, you know, I had to hold back because, you know, we did the same thing with Heath Ledger. So once I held back and I said, okay, I'm going to give his acting chops a chance because he's a great actor. So he didn't disappoint me. So the trailer, it hit all the high notes, but it put it in a place where I didn't have to figure it out too much because I'm glad we got the Batman we got. We've always gotten this other version. We've never gotten the rookie, the detective, or using his detective skills to a degree to figure stuff out, even be wrong to this point. So I'm glad we got this version. I'm glad he was able to rectify, you know, the shiny vampire look. I'm glad he was able to rectify because it was giving me like the subway scene. It was giving me Arkham Knight vibes, Arkham Gang Knight vibes. You know, Arkham Asylum, just the way you go in and you hit these melees. It was giving me those vibes. And I knew we were getting a rookie when they showed the scene where he's just taking machine gun fire straight to the chest. I'm like, oh, we're getting the guy who has a death wish.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting something different. You know.
Well, one thing, if I can add something about as far as Pattinson, when I saw him in the trailer, he had the look. He had sort of that real lean look that reminded me a lot of an actor, particularly when he was younger, called Martin Landau. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really got me. I mean, I thought they can bring that what Landau sort of had, that sinister, particularly when he was younger, that just craven, sinister look to himself, to that character. But I think he's flat as far as when I saw the movie. It just didn't carry over, so whatever. But like you said, if he's got 2 more chances, you know, I'm willing to see what he does next.
Yeah, I think the next movie drops in like 2025. So I will say that kudos to the makeup team because there were stories going around that no one knew that was Colin Farrell, like at all.
And, I mean, if they didn't tell me it was him, I probably wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, I like fantastic freaking job. Like you took someone of Colin Farrell's looks and Aquaman and you transformed him into the Penguin, where actors on the set were like, who is this guy?
Well, folks, before we get into Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm going to drop the trailer and whatnot and everything. Really quick, I had some breaking news here, all right? This actually is a video clip of a gentleman receiving a phone call being told that Black Panther Wakanda Forever actually was nominated for some kind of award for like Best Picture with some shit or whatever.
Wow. Như vậy thì
that was his reaction. You know what I'm saying? when he saw the text message from the person that's what he was calling for, he just threw his fucking phone against the wall. Yep. So breaking news, whoever the fuck that guy is, he was not happy with hearing that stuff. So I have no personal I have no take in this or whatever. So nothing to say. But no, this is my plan, folks. I'm gonna drop the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer right here. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna ask you guys for initial questions from it. Everybody, give me your reactions to it, just from jump, just where your feel from it, without getting into the nitty gritty. Then I'm just gonna basically just kind of go through just a quick summary of sort of. I guess the comic book relation or connectivity to the story, what we know officially, as far as what it's going to be, who we know is going to be in it, right? And then I'll just ask you guys questions based off that. And let you guys just, talk whatever shit you want to talk about, basically, at that point. Just as long as it's bleeding edge style, baby. None of that Skin and Max, softcore porn, right, Brandy?
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Guy, boob, and bush.
Yeah, me and Brandy were talking earlier today. I was like, what comes underneath like Skin and Max, like softcore porn? Like you got porn, you've got like softcore porn, Skin and Max or whatever. What's below that?
Spice.
Like
Spice
like
channel.
What? Spice the drug? Like
no, back in the day when if you had a decent cable box, you can get the Spice channel and come in fuzzy, and you might see a boob once in a while.
But that was just porn. But that was porn. That was actual porn.
It was just porn you couldn't see very well.
Yeah.
No. No, but hey, you know what? Apparently, I hear a lot of these guys, women are always telling me that all these guys in the sites are always asking them for naked pictures and shit all the time. Apparently, they can jerk off to that somehow. I don't know how that works, but I can't do it. But like, if they can do that, then I guess you could probably do that, make it work with the old school '90s Spice Channel, satellite dish shit.
OnlyFans is popular for a reason, man.
Hey.
Hey, when there was dial-up, people would just get off to like thumbnail pictures they could find.
Oh my god! I think I saw this the other day that like something like 1,000 women sign up to start OnlyFans account every single day of the week.
Well, before that, they had porn drive-in.
Porn drive-in, baby. Which, folks, is going to be a part of our merch. When we come out with our merch, we're going to have a T-shirt that says "Porn Drive-in" on it. Okay.
And the sort of what you saw about the dial-up thing was the kids who would climb up in the trees outside, outside the fence. They couldn't hear the sound, but they could see whatever.
Oh, no one cares about sound.
Tubs on TV.
Just to be clear that I'm fair with all my bullshit, my shit talking. I was talking to Renee the other day about how cool it would be if we called like a psychic hotline during the show.
Yeah.
Ask Cleo.
Yeah, Miss Cleo. We called like a Miss Cleo type shit during the show.
I remember that.
Yeah, and we did that during the show. Like, tried that out.
I'm going to start one called Miss Clitoris.
Ah, man, I'm telling you, I'd love to get paid to be a sex talker or whatever on the phone. Are you kidding me? If somebody would pay me to do that shit, I'd quit the Bleeding Edge immediately and just start fucking making money. Just start making money sitting on the laying on my bed.
I couldn't do it with a straight face.
You just need an audio program that'll change your voice.
Yeah, I'd probably laugh too much during it because I'd just be trying to say the most outrageous things I could possibly think of.
You figure, listen, man, I've learned to fake orgasms with chicks before and whatnot. It's part of the deal sometimes, you know what I mean? When you got the kind of fucking game I'm playing with and whatnot, sometimes chicks just aren't even worth it. You got to just like fake an orgasm with a bitch, right? You know what I'm saying? Which is hard to do. You got to convince them that you've done it somehow, even though it didn't happen. Very difficult, right?
No, you just say like I rubbed one out earlier, so I'm good.
Oh my god! I'm telling you, at one point, Brandy, Renee, I don't know if you remember this. I played this caption one time during the show about how we were going to be offering this alternative to Plan B, called Plan T, because of a shortage of Plan B. The cost had skyrocketed for Plan B due to True Knowledge, whoever that is, running through these hoes all the time and whatnot. So we were going to be selling discounted Chinese knockoff Plan B called Plan T for True Knowledge, of course, to help out like with the ladies and whatnot for equality and all that shit. Right? Keep it real, Bleeding Edge style.
No, Plan T has plenty.
There you go. Yeah. I saw this chick on TikTok a while back and whatnot on her video. she was painting her toenails the same color as Plan B.
Wow, you're
There you go.
You're such a humanitarian.
Yep.
Anyways, folks. Bottom line. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy. So, before we watch the trailer, has everyone seen the trailer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, everyone's seen the trailer. That's good. Has everybody seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, you never know. After you guys were, other than Renee, none of you guys know about Kevin. So,
But,
Kevin Bacon? Like in the Christmas special?
You mean Kevin and She-Hulk Kevin?
no.
Which Kevin are we talking about?
Kevin, some dipwad called
Some
Kevin.
douchebag that says he was a comedian or whatever and whatnot that came on the Bleeding Edge one time as a guest and did not inform me that he didn't even watch the fucking episode of Moon Knight that we were reviewing that night on the review.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. And then literally instead of being like embarrassed and like ashamed and just dropping off the show, he actually was like arguing and shit and explaining why it was important that he be there and everything and have this like contrasting mystical fucking viewpoint or whatever from not even seeing the shit. Right? So that's Kevin.
All right. So
What-
Kevin's
Sounds like
the
a
male
chud.
version of Karen.
I don't know. I've got to tell you right now. I would have to like smoke spice and crack together to like have the balls to fucking go on somebody's show. I mean, go on Chris's show or your show, Brandy, and be like, "Hey, I'm here to review fucking this movie and shit. I never watched it though."
And then argue about it, even you have no intelligence about the movie. That's it.
I mean, honestly, as long as you were drunk enough on my show.
Like tell you with a straight face, Chris. Yeah, I didn't watch that shit, Chris. I didn't even watch that movie. But I'm here though, bro. I'm here on spirit though. Anyway, so all right, Guardians of the Galaxy, the trailer, which actually I think is a very powerful trailer. I really do. I think it's. We'll see if it resonates well, if it really connects well with the film. But I found it to be very powerful for Guardians of the Galaxy. I do. The wonders of technology.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians. Hello, we come in peace. Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No!
Don't forget where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives.
Pete, I'm done running. We'll all fly away together. One last time. Into the forever. That beautiful sky.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
That song is from Space Hog. I think Space Hog. In the meantime, I saw them in concert. I saw them perform this song before back in the day in the 90s. That's how old I am, folks. But yeah, good song. Very fitting to the trailer. I felt like it really connected very well. Kind of reminds me of like a younger, what the hell's his name? Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Freaking weed is killing me. Weed is killing me today, man. Just forget about it. It doesn't even matter. I can't. It doesn't even make any difference. anyways, what do you call it? No, so as far as the trailer itself goes, I guess I'll start with you, Renee, and then I'll go to you, Brandy. Um, Before I get into like the actual what we know officially with the story, what's your take from the trailer regarding what we know about Guardians so far? I guess probably right.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times, and yeah, I guess the biggest take, I guess, is the serious tone that it's going to go. I don't think that it's going to be quite as comedic. Uh, um, I don't know. There's kind of maybe a bittersweet quality to it. I think we already know that some of the characters will be leaving. We don't really know exactly who because they keep those things sort of secret, but we can sort of guess. But anyway, yeah, I think that just that feeling. I think maybe another thing. There's sort of almost a nostalgic feeling to it. I think maybe I'm thinking hopefully it's going to. And it can't help because so many of the characters are coming from the previous phases. So I think maybe some of the earlier MCU will maybe remind folks of some stuff, of what the MCU is about and whatnot. So yeah. So I feel positive about going forward about it.
I think that's an important point that Renee makes there. I really do. That I feel the same way that connective tissue, that this is what we have left, right? It really is. It's these are the characters we have left from the early phases. But Brandy, again, without flushing out the official details and whatnot, just from seeing what you're seeing in the trailer, would you say that you'd agree with Renee? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree that bittersweet seems like the right choice of words there, because I feel like you definitely get a sense that there's going to be some loss there, but also some moving forward. I think some of the characters that maybe didn't have as much screen time before or whatever else are getting a little bit more this time around, which is nice to see. And they're definitely moving into the next phase of okay, so they've been around, they've been doing their thing, and they're kind of finishing up their story, but also I think some of them are going to move into the next phase of the MCU and stick around, but maybe join up with other people. And definitely in the trailer, I mean, the score and the music in Guardians of the Galaxy by far has always been my favorite of any of the MCU movies. I think the music was perfect for the trailer. I love the soundtracks of the first and second movies, and so I think they're going to continue that, which is fantastic to see. I'm a little I don't know. I'm curious to see where they go next with it, because after this movie, I don't know, based on the trailer, it's kind of okay, so it feels like they're finishing some things, they're kind of winding it up. But I feel like I want to see who they're going to take on and move forward, because there's some characters definitely aren't going to go forward, but there's other ones that it's maybe not. I don't know. We're going to see. So that's really what I'm curious of, when we finish this movie, is to see who gets to continue on.
Most definitely. And I'll go to you next, actually, Chris, and then I'll go over to you, Andrew. Chris, what'd you think of Adam Warlock?
Oh, never thought that I would see Will Poulter in this looking like this. Talk about a glow up. This guy, I've seen him in Meet the Millers, and I never thought I would see this kid come in to look like this. Just did not see that coming. To touch on the soundtrack, James Gunn has a way of picking damn good music for his projects, from now Guardians Volume 3, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad. He has a way of picking really good music that hits just the right tone of emotion, and that emotion that you get in here is giving that this is the end. This is the end. We don't know in what terms, we don't know for whom and how, we just know this is it. And I think I'm sure we're getting the same level of funny, but now it's just kind of we're wrapping up this story with this gang, and this is going to be it. How they go off about their lives or unalive, we don't know, but I'm here for it. I haven't been disappointed with the Guardians trilogy, volume so far. I still play the first 2 volumes. The track, the soundtrack is just that good.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. That's good to hear. I'll tell you, before I go over to Andrew, Renee and I have talked about before in the past how when we both reviewed Guardians 2, we both felt like right, Renee, we both appreciated the film more, I think, right? Later on, once we rewatched it and really reviewed it and whatnot, and broke it down, I really appreciated it a lot more. I did.
He knows how to tell a story on top of that, because if you seen the Christmas special they did, I wasn't expecting that reveal.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So I was just like, oh, that's cool. It makes you go back and look at certain things that were said. And as viewers, we see it one way when it meant something else.
Okay. Andrew, what did you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer? Did you enjoy the trailer in general? Does it make you like yearn to want to see the film more or anything?
Yeah, actually, this is the last one officially, though, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be the last movie?
Yeah, we don't know officially, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I really enjoyed the first 2. The first one's definitely my favorite. And but yeah, coming up with this, it's going to be nice because you're going to get a lot of answers to questions we've been waiting for since the start. And like you said, it's gonna be funny, but there's also it's gonna be a bit more serious down the line. And because both the movies, they've all had a little bit of drama in them, but I have a feeling this one's gonna tug at some strings, some heartstrings. It's gonna make some people sad.
Well, yeah,
get your ancillary batteries.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Like what he said about Will Poulter, like when I seen him in Maze Runner, and I was like, that douchebag with those eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I was like, man, that's like the one funny looking kid. I was like, how did he get into acting?
Well, no, but you know what though? Honestly, I'd have to pull up the actual article or pull up the actual official details. But you do understand, right? That like legit, no joke. Disney, not Marvel Studios, Disney makes as a requirement of signing their contract, all the actors that we saw, like the original 6, for instance, they have to maintain a certain diet and a certain amount of weight training and working out and whatnot, like during all times, basically. Like they have to at all times, whether they're filming or not or whatever, they have to maintain in a certain physical shape and condition.
Sounds like a UFC fighter.
It's very strict. The diet's very strict.
Yeah.
It's like no joke. Like they all deal with it. They all do it. Like Disney forces it. I swear to God, I was surprised as shit when I read about it and whatnot.
They're like, we're gonna make another Baywatch movie. You better have your 6-pack ready.
Well, but they know that they understand how important the visual aspects of these things are. Like honestly, if you don't, come on.
Well, yeah, they take their shit. They take it serious, and that's a good thing because if you don't, you're going to get a half-ass quality product.
Well, anybody who's seen Adam Warlock in the comics knows that Adam Warlock is a big motherfucker. Like he's big, he's muscular, he's bulky, like he's tall.
You don't want it like 300 where it's all digital abs the whole time.
Right.
No, I thought he looked pretty good. He put some good muscle on.
He filled out, like he actually grew into his body finally.
Well. And I think the only reason why they felt it was okay to let him punch Nebula like that right in the face is because it's Nebula, right? And she's like a machine or whatever,
She
right?
could take it. She probably laughed.
She's a saint. She's a saint.
She liked it.
Yeah. She lives for that type of stuff.
Hit me again, Daddy.
Nah, but if that was anybody else. If that was actually Karen Gillian or whatever, how you say her name, getting punched like that, Disney would never allow that to happen in the trailer or in a film. They never allow. That's just my take. I don't ever see that happening because that's a pretty brutal punch. Like holy shit. But we already know that freaking Nebula can take whatever. It don't matter to her. I love Nebula. I think she's the one that will actually stick around and actually survive all this. And be in the
I like
MCU
now
still.
she has more of a personality involved in it. She like kind of has a little bit of humor to herself now.
Well, that's actually that. Before I actually get into the high evolutionary and the story of the thing, that's actually the next question I wanted to ask you. I'll start with you, Andrew, and just reverse it around. Who do you think survives from this? I think Chris is right. I think we're not going to get another Guardians movie. Why would anybody want to fuck with what Gunn's done? right? Like, I wouldn't want to step to that personally. I just don't see it happening. I don't see them. They've already got, what, 7, 8 different teams coming out in the next 5 years? They don't need another Guardians 4 or whatever. There's no need for it.
Right.
But at the same time, though, some of these people, some of these actors and actresses are young enough. They could still play these characters. There's different stuff that they could do with them. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sure I'm not the only one that didn't notice that Mantis has been very prominent in the Christmas special and in the trailer, right? I don't think that that's coincidental. So, Andrew, what do you think? If you had to guess, do you think anybody will make it out of this scenario and still be in the MCU after Guardians 3? I mean, as far as the Guardians go, the original team,
Maybe Star-Lord would, make an appearance here or there because we know Batista, he doesn't want to do it no more. So Drax won't be coming back. That's a given, and I think, Mantis is a character that, like, generally everybody that sees the movie just likes because it's just that kind of personality and quirkiness. You just can't help but laugh and enjoy it, So that's like something you would want to keep around to, keep people coming back and watching. And other than that, well, then plus Groot, he'll be in shorts and, little cameo appearances, down the line. But other than that, I don't really think anything major roles will be coming from this.
Well, Groot already died. Groot died in the first Guardians of the movie. What you see in that trailer or whatever, that's Stout Groot or whatever, or Swole Groot or whatever. That's
Frat Boy Groot.
It is.
That's Frat Boy Groot.
That's the original Groot's son. Like that when he like that's what that is. That's not actually Groot. Groot died.
Yeah. I figure it was just like, another piece of him that grew up different,
Yeah. No, they're calling him Swole Groot though. They're calling him Swole Groot. He looks pretty dope. But what do you think, Chris? I mean, I'm with Andrew. I think I've said before on other shows, I think they could do something like a Han Solo type solo kind of film if they wanted to. With it,
I see Peter and Mantis coming out of this.
Yep.
Because you gave him a sister now. I don't think you want to take that away from them. So I see them keep going to some degree somewhere down the line. Groot, yes, Rocket, maybe not so much. Drax's story has been done. Like his arc has been done. He's there as comedic relief at this point. Like he doesn't have any, like he's gotten his revenge. The person that took out his family is gone now, so he's gotten his revenge on that set. But Gamora, or at least that version of Gamora, because it's not the original Gamora. So that version of Gamora maybe not sticking around, but not being dead. And Nebula, why not keep her around? But definitely Peter and Mantis moving forward. Peter, Mantis, and Groot moving forward.
Can I add one thing in real quick?
No, you can, of course you can't. What are you kidding me? No, go ahead.
No, like you said, a thing about like the Han, like they could do like a solo thing. I mean, if they did something with, Pete as like a teenager growing up, getting into like how he became an adult, that would be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, those would be fun. That's like it's like the Christmas special. It's like
for that.
It's like the Christmas special. That was amazing. I could have went a full hour. I didn't need 45 minutes. I could have went a full hour. But the Christmas special was amazing. I'm like, it's a nice touch. It's a nice little bridge into the next thing. So I could definitely use, especially some backstory. Like, give me another adventure with Mantis and Drax. Like, give me another one of those, because that's just funny.
I just wish they would bring back female nudity, because I'd love to see Mantis's tits.
Drax and Mantis go to Disney.
Like, seriously, I would. I mean, I'm not joking. I would, like, I love Mantis, but I would love to see her breasts. I would.
It might have little antennae on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I honestly, I don't. I mean, I have no real idea of how she's really built. I just like to see what she. I bet she's a very attractive woman.
She could have a third tit like in Total Recall. That'd be
That's
cool.
fine. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I can work with that. I'll tell you right now, when I was a kid and I saw those third titties in Total Recall, I thought that shit was dope. I was like, that shit is dope.
You know what I'm saying? Were so awful.
Yep. I didn't even know what to do with my penis yet, but I knew that shit was good. You feel me on that, Chris? Andrew, you with me on that?
Yeah.
It don't matter how old you are when you're a young boy and shit. You see them 3 titty shot and Total Recall. You're like, yo, this shit's hot. Like, damn, I like titties. I like titties now.
And the thing is, those were actually real.
Well, hey, like I've said before, I'll say it again. There's no fuck laws in space, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just to be clear. Anyways,
Well, Peter
but no,
can tell you that.
but no, and I think it's important that Chris mentions what he did, because honestly, you have to remember that the whole thing in the Christmas special that I think I took out of it was the whole thing of them being sister and brother, right? They both have celestial DNA, right? So that's something to me that's very poignant, where I get where Chris is going, where him and I, this is the reason why I wanted Chris to be on the show, and why I like beg him and plead him and whatnot to come on the Bleeding Edge and whatnot and everything all the time. Because like him and I have a very similar views on this stuff. And like we understand, you know, that we follow this stuff to the level where I get exactly where he's going. They could build off that. There's somewhere where they could go with that. Like, you know, we don't really know much about Quill's mom, right? Like, what was it about Quill's mom that like she was able to hook up with Ego,
Ego.
and create Star-Lord, right? And he's different than Mantis. Well, he's a human being, of course, but whatever. So going to you, Renee, then to you, Brandy. Renee, who do you think anybody will make it? And now, just to be clear, they're rumoring pretty heavily that Rocket's going to die in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's going to stay? I think Rocket's probably something's going to happen. I mean, whether he dies or whether he's reconstituted as a human being or whatever. Drax, I think because the actor, golly, what's his name? That Drax actor.
Oh, Dave Bautista.
But yes, Dave Bautista, pardon me. I think he's wanting to move on, and he's kind of building a movie career for himself. So I don't blame him. I think maybe Peter Quill will survive, but I think he may decide to give up everything and just go to planet Earth and just try to live as a human being for once, and maybe try that. That's just, who knows. I do like the idea of doing just a Peter Quill backstory, like I'll say, and just you can just bring in another actor, because it's all going to be the kid. You don't have to have the adult version unless you just do a cameo or something. And Michael Rooker, of course, is he can come back as Yondu, and the whole and of course the other who's he's joining the cast now. I can't remember his name, but he was part of Yondu's crew.
The guy with the mohawk.
James Gunn's brother,
Sean Gunn.
Yeah,
he's coming back. So I think
Kraglin.
I think maybe something can happen with him down the road. Because he's sort of a side character, and you can sort of build on him a little bit more. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. They did the special, and I was thinking about it while you guys were talking about it. They did the real comedy bits and the funny haha, and just got all that. Just let's have fun with these characters one more time, and then they're going to go into the movie, and it's going to be, it kind of looks like it's going to start out real funny because they land apparently, and there's this town where I guess they're doing experiments, genetic experiments, changing humans into animals or whatever. Sort of a Dr. the island of Dr. Moreau type.
In suburbia.
Something like that, allusion to that. But but I think probably start out funny, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be just like you say, tears and that's what you call a catharsis. And sometimes we need those things. So maybe that it won't be. Hopefully, it will end sad, but yet hopeful.
Well, hey, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I saw a couple of alien, fucked up looking, I think were female type people that I would have hit in that trailer, in that scene.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Why not? Hey,
okay.
I like interesting shit. So, I'd fuck some chick that has like bunny ears and shit, and like an elephant's head or some shit at the same time.
You can get that right now.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, but no, Brandy, would you agree? I totally feel like I feel like there's something about the actor himself and the Star-Lord character where I feel like they really could do something with him if they wanted to, right? I mean,
I think they could. I don't know. So Star-Lord is not really on my radar as somebody who might stick around. Like they could do a prequel, whatever else, but they've got so many other things in the can that are coming up. Like I feel like a younger Star-Lord like series, if they do it, it'll be animated on Disney Plus. It won't be like a live action, anything like that. What I got out of this movie is that I definitely think Rocket is a goner, because there's several scenes in the trailer that you get with the Guardians of the Galaxy coming out, and it's 5 of them and Rocket is not there. So I feel like he's definitely probably he's gonna be like one of the things that happens either early on or mid movie, where he's gone and they're gonna have to deal with that loss and then move on without him. So I think Rocket's probably the first thing that's gonna go, which is sad for me, because I love Rocket.
No, I'm not trying to cut you off, but take into consideration that just like with Ant-Man Quantumania, we already know from the trailers that they're going to be split up when they get down into the Chronopolis. They're going to be 2 different teams. Yeah. With a movie as expansive as this movie's going to be, it makes sense that they're going to have to break the team up to some extent.
But when you see the team, you've got all of them in there. You've got, you got Batista, you got Mantis, you got, and I say Batista instead of Drax, but it's Drax, Mantis, you got Star-Lord, you got like Nebula. So you've got the main crew. It's just Rocket's not there with them. So to me, that's a sign that like, okay, there's several scenes in the movie there that Rocket's not included with the main cast, I'm thinking. But then there's other scenes where he's talking and doing stuff. So I'm like, I feel like Rocket will be in there for the good first half of the movie, but I think Rocket's not going to make it through. And he'll be like a catalyst for them to end up doing something in the plot, because, I feel like he's going to go away, which is sad. And I hate to see Rocket go, because I love Rocket. I've never been a huge Drax fan, but he does have some comic relief in him and stuff. So like he'll be there through the out, but I don't see him continuing on either after the movie's over. I don't see him dying, but I don't see him continuing on after this, especially because Dave Bautista said he doesn't have any interest in it.
He doesn't want to stay in the same kind of physical shape that he needs to be in, right?
Yeah. And that makes sense, but it also doesn't, considering all the other roles that he takes on. He has to be beefed up and whatever else, because he's doing action roles and whatever else. So I'm kind of like, all right, you don't want to stay in the same shape, but really you just don't want the studio telling you have to stay in the same shape, because you're going to do all these other roles that you have to be in that shape anyway. So, I mean, really, what's the difference? But I've never really loved the character of Drax. Like, I understand why he's there, and I did like the Christmas special with him and Mantis together. So I did like that combo pack between the 2 of them. I thought that was adorable and funny, and I loved it. And I really like Mantis, and I think they're going to continue on with Mantis. I'm really excited to see Nebula and how much more of a role she plays in this movie, because, she was the antagonist, and then she was like kind of a side character because she was like the sister that came along, and then so I feel like this is really her movie to shine as being a part of the Guardians. So I'm excited to see Nebula, and I hope they continue Nebula along. So Nebula and Mantis are the 2 that I would pick to like continue on past this. But I think Drax and Rocket are probably done after this movie. The other ones are a little, who knows what's going to happen.
Maybe they could do a spin-off series with White Vision, since he has no penis anyway.
Well,
and Nebula, since she has no vagina, right?
He's at, so
they're perfect for each other, right?
Yeah.
Right? So no penis.
I don't think the Scarlet Witch would appreciate that, though.
No, I don't think so. And honestly, I am so pissed. I feel like Scarlet Witch, she needs some, I don't know, she needs some good booty or something. I just feel bad for her.
That's what the problem was. That's why we had the Multiverse of Madness. It was because of the Vision not having a penis all those years.
All right. Multiverse of Madness did her wrong. Let's just have that right. Like, it did her wrong. That whole movie was just... Scarlet Witch got treated bad.
That woman dealt with trauma, and they won't recognize that.
No, they won't. It was like, I felt like at the end of her series, it was like, okay, everybody understands she went through some shit. It's like, okay,
the only one who really understood everything she was going through was Monica.
How about this shit, y'all? I honestly I think if Derrickson would have directed the film, right, he would have done her better than Sam Mendes did. Or excuse me, Sam Raimi did. I really do. I swear. I mean, and you guys can disagree with me, Brandy, but I honestly feel like Derrickson would have done her better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like anybody who watched the series would have done her better than than he did. I just I feel like you got to a final conclusion in the series where yeah, she was the bad guy, but there was an understanding of why, and there was a whole lead up to it and everything else. And then you hit this movie where it was oh no, she's the bad guy again. And yeah, she just flipped a switch and went off again. And it's okay, well, I mean, we already addressed this shit. She was totally aware of stuff and cognizant of the harm she was causing people, felt bad for it. And then all of a sudden she just decided to start hurting people again. And there we go.
We're not done with Wanda.
Yeah, no.
We're not done with Wanda. We're far from being done with Wanda.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where else they take her in the MCU, and I'm hoping they do her better in the next film she's in.
Yeah,
you got to think she's one of the most powerful people, and then she realizes she had a happy family, kids, and then it's what? It's not real.
She's literally a Nexus being.
She found pure happiness just to have it ripped from her soul.
Yeah, but her fighting her own self for her kids, that was unbelievable for me.
She's the new Black Widow. She's the biggest female character of the MCU.
Okay,
she is.
Yes, but she's not the new Black Widow because Black Widow was
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying she's the most popular female character. They wanted to be Bree, Captain Bree.
No, she's number one on the call sheet for female.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they have unlimited options there also, so let's be clear on that. You've got what, 2 now?
Well, all I know is Captain Bree didn't work out so good. So we'll see what happens though. You never know. I
got my Captain Marvel glasses on. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if you're wearing Captain Marvel glasses, I ain't driving with you.
No.
If you're driving the fucking car, I can tell you right now. I'll go ride with somebody else. I'd rather go ride with She-Hulk.
I don't know. She can kick anybody's ass. I feel like she's pretty good.
All right. Well, either way. So as far as the Guardians of the Galaxies go, again, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna die and whatnot. I mean, God, it's sad to think about about deaths again in the MCU again, right?
Yeah.
It's sad a little bit to think about it happening, but I guess it's part of the deal, right? It's part of this process.
Well, it rarely happens in the MCU.
Yeah, you got to look at like Cap's not dead. Let's get that.
Yeah.
The general public thinks he is, and to it would just make sense. I don't want to say reality, but in reality, yeah, you would have to go on with these characters. You would have to go on, whether it's passing a mantle or this person dying up and somebody picking up the shield or something, anything into that effect. They have to move on to the next generation. So that doesn't necessarily mean everyone's dying, but there's going to be people who's all right. I'm good here. I can step down.
Yeah.
Well, there's no mortality in the Marvel universe.
Right.
Maybe we can have a fan vote and we can vote Nebula in and get rid of Ironheart. Right? We'll just get rid of Ironheart and we'll swap.
Leave Riri alone. Leave Riri alone. Leave Riri alone.
They need to bring back Taserface.
No. I'm sorry, no. The way he died was so perfect. I love that entire scene. We can't bring him back.
Taserface Jr. maybe.
So now it's gonna be Peter doesn't have his tape deck anymore. So what
he has a Zoom.
He's got a Zoom.
The Zoom, yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna hear now in this music in the movie is gonna be actually not from him. It's gonna be I'm sorry, Rooker's what the hell is his name?
Yondu?
Yeah, it's Yondu's picks. It's Yondu's it's Yondu's playlist.
For him. Yeah.
Yes. That's what we're gonna get in the film. And I love Yondu. Shout out to Yondu.
Yondu is fantastic.
No. So basically, bottom line, to move on and to get into the actual crux and understanding, this is the most important aspect of really understanding what I believe the story of the film will basically be based around. And that boils around Herbert Wyndham. And now Herbert Wyndham, of course, is the High Evolutionary, who we see in the trailer. He is portrayed by the actor, if you give me 1 second, I'll tell you right now. I don't want to butcher his name. And I've got it right here on my other laptop.
He was in Peacemaker. He was
a Peacemaker. No, and I saw him, I think, at D23 or at Comic-Con, too.
Yeah.
And he seems like
High Evolutionary.
Yeah, he seems like a really dope guy, actually, in general. the actor himself. Okay, so his name is, let's see. Oh wow, did you know that the actress that plays Mantis is Pam Clementieff?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, so we've got Elizabeth Debicki as Aisha back in the film. Renee Sylvester Stallone, as you've already mentioned, as Stakar Ogard.
Mm-hmm.
Will be back. Sean Gunn as Kraglin. Maria Bakalova as Cosmo the Space Dog, which I have no idea why they decided to bring Cosmo in, but whatever.
Nostalgia.
And he is Chuck Woody. I believe it's Iwuji. I apologize if I fucked that up out there, sir. I genuinely did not mean to disrespect, but tough name. But yeah, he's the High Evolutionary, and essentially the High Evolutionary is of course Herbert Wyndham, and as Chris already knows, probably well knows, he's actually known and connected to Mr. Sinister from the X-Men universe and whatnot, who I hope we get, right, Chris?
Oh yeah,
I really do. I hope we get him.
That bastard Nathaniel.
That's right, and not just an X-Men '97 either. I mean, in the real deal.
Mr. Sinister, doesn't he come from Green Lantern?
No, that's Sinestro.
DC.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Sinestro. Sorry, get him mixed up.
No, it's okay. No, so either way, he has a connection with essentially with Nathaniel Essex, who is of course Mr. Sinister, and he is one of the classic X-Men villains. And now essentially Herbert Wyndham is a geneticist. He's like an uber geneticist that has really radical ideas about basically everything, about Earth, about like culture, about society, about everything in general. And his whole deal is essentially that he's inspired by Mr. Sinister in wanting to conduct these experiments having to do with, playing around with genetic codes, mixing, genetic codes of different, of human beings with animals and things of that nature, Crimeas or whatever you want to call them almost. So essentially, long story short, when
Chimera?
What's that? Yeah,
Chimeras?
Yes. Yeah, so essentially, what we see in the trailer is the High Evolutionary, and without getting too far into the comments or getting too deep into this, essentially the High Evolutionary, he actually ends up, creating the New Men, which are animals, evolved animals into humanoid forms, which is what I believe we saw in the trailer on that weird fucking planet with those alien people or whatever that were weird looking. Jawa Jawa or whatever. So either way, this actually ties into the Skull of the Witch, believe it or not, because at one point, the High Evolutionary actually was imprisoned, I believe, on Wundagore Mountain. And at that point, at the same time, he was banished by the demon Cthon, right? And at that point, that was right when the twins were born, Pietro and Wanda. And in the comics, if I remember correctly, right, Chris, their powers are affected by not just their mutant abilities, but also by the High Evolutionary, correct?
Yeah, they kind of retconned it. So yeah, it's kind of tied into Wundagore, it's tied into the High Evolutionary, it's
the Darkhold, all of it. Yes.
Yeah, they retconned it a little bit.
So my point is with this, folks, and thank you, Chris, I appreciate that. Is just basically that there's heavy connective tissue here with this character, right? We haven't seen Cthon yet, but eventually we're going to get Cthon. If we're going to continue getting Scarlet Witch, we're going to end up getting Cthon. We're going to end up we're going to get Wundagore Mountain. It's going to happen at some point. Now, whether or not we're going to get a Magneto or not, I don't know. Or how that'll play out and whatnot, I don't know. But basically, long story short, the High Evolutionary, long story short, is not necessarily the type of villain like a Thanos or a Kang, where he's like the type to like, fight you or like, get the Infinity Gauntlet or whatnot and snap some shit. he actually does stuff like create his own like Earths in a way, like, you know, like and whatnot and everything, because he wants to like almost perfect his own like society in a way. So essentially, long story short, you know, bottom line, as far as his powers and everything go and whatnot, I mean, really, he doesn't really have that many. You know, he's essentially he evolves himself over time into this disembodied intelligence, and through that, he's basically just really good as a scientist. But he doesn't have any actual powers. He doesn't have any super strength or anything like that. He can't shoot like, you know, laser beams or anything like that and whatnot. So he's more of a planner. And overall, at the end of the day, he's the one that actually was responsible for conducting the experiments on Rocket, right? That's the fundamental connection there. Is that, and also, of course, Rocket's, you know, girlfriend from the comics, who I've got written down here. Oh, Lila. You know, Lila, it comes from that same time period. And so basically at that point, what we see in the trailer, essentially, you know, is basically, when we see them in that new ship right off the bat, that's actually, I believe, called, what is the new ship called? It's called, I believe, I know they changed it. It's not the same one. Come on, Jesus, where you at? Come on now. I've got Andor notes in here. I've got Willow bullshit in here. I've got, like, suicide letters I was writing to myself while I was reviewing episodes of Willow. And, like, contemplating suicide.
I was going to say after Milano. Oh, the Benatar.
No. That's the Benatar. No, it is the... I got it. God damn it. I swear to God, I'm about to fucking punch myself through the screen here in a minute. Oh, the hell with it. I swear to God. I hate when this happens. Either way, they have a new ship. When they show up at, you know, at what is now that, you know, their home base or whatever and whatnot and everything that used to be the collector's place that they bought out. Nowhere, essentially. There's like a replica of Earth there. You see like the Statue of Liberty and all that and whatnot. And that comes from the comics. And that comes from the High Evolutionary, from Herbert Wyndham. And it has to do with the new men and whatnot and everything. And him wanting to create at one point like a half world, I think, or half Earth, if I remember correctly. Like off the cuff. That basically was like a, you know, a replica of Earth. In his own vision. The ship is called the Bowie. Obviously named after David Bowie. And like I was saying, essentially those aliens, I believe, on that planet that we see the Guardians go to, I believe that those are essentially the new men. I don't think that's half world, but I think those are the new men. And essentially Rocket was one of the new men. Like, I mean, he was part of those experiments. And so essentially based off of that, I mean, you really, that kind of tells you right there when you look at the trailer and kind of relate to what the High Evolutionary does, his experimentations, you can see how this could be a really emotional, you know, thing for Rocket and whatnot and everything, and how there could be sort of a section of the film where he goes off and does his own thing. So I'll start with you, Brandy, if you're still there.
Hey.
There you are. And then after that, I'll go to you, Andrew. Now, again, based off the trailer, now I know the High Evolutionary is not well known. He's not like the type of, you know, villain that everybody's going to know by name or whatever and whatnot. But based off of, I guess, you know, Chris mentioned it, we're going to get the humor in this movie. They're not going to stop having humor. Gunn's not going to stop having jokes and whatnot with the Guardians. But at the same time, though, you know, it's going to be an interesting film. You know, Brandy, I mean, honestly, like you said, Rocket's not with them when they're with those in the spacesuits.
Yeah.
Right? When they go into space, which, Renee, you know that was was basically a send-off or like a nod to Kubrick, to your favorite film.
Mm-hmm.
A space 2000 whatever, Space Odyssey.
2001 Space Odyssey.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, Brandy, what I'm asking you is just that, taking into consideration there will be some laughs. What are your anticipations in terms of how serious this film is really going to be? Like,
so I I have low expectations on the seriousness only because I feel like I was a little disappointed in. Now, granted, this was not a James Gunn film. It was like the Thor movies. I feel like when they hit the third one, like it was very funny and it was very happy. And I prefer the MCU films to the DC films only because they are a little bit lighter, a little bit more comedic. And so I like to watch them more. They're more entertaining to me. But sometimes I feel like the MCU leans into the comedy a little too much in times when they shouldn't, because like in the Thor film, it was like he lost his dad, like his sister, like beat up on him, like all these other things, and it's like they spent all of 2 seconds on his like loss and everything else. She has a very flat ass. I see that.
Chris, I put that up for you, brother. A little inside joke.
Let Brandy finish what she was
Chris,
saying.
I'm sorry, Brandy.
You're fine. You're fine.
I was just gonna say I would rather hang out with her than watch Thor: Love and Thunder again.
Well, that's the thing. So I feel like they just kind of dismissed a lot of the heartache and things that they should have actually like addressed and stopped and paused for. So I'm really hoping in this film, especially based on the soundtrack and everything, James Gunn does a little bit better job of that, I think, with the Guardians movies than, and I cannot, for some reason, his name is escaping me, the director who
for Thor, Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi.
Yes, Taika Waititi. I feel like he really leans into the humor, whereas James Gunn leans into the humor, but I also feel like he takes a pause when you need to take a pause for like the devastation that is happening. So I'm really hopeful in this movie that there is still the humor that you get in all the Marvel movies, but there is also a pause when something happens that is like you need that moment of grief, I guess, in the movie. Like sometimes you need that moment because I love to laugh throughout the movie, but also if somebody dies or something tragic happens, like I think you need to take a moment in the movie and like let the characters have a breath and like have their moment of they're sad because that's what's happening in their lives right then. And it doesn't matter if it's fictional or whatever else, but like that's what's happening and they need the moment. And as the audience, I feel like you need that moment with them to feel what they're feeling so that then you can move on to the next scene and see what else they have to address. Because then their motivations when you go into the next scene and they're trying to revenge something or whatever else, it feels more impactful. Whereas if you skip over those moments, it just doesn't feel as impactful when they're trying to avenge something or anything else because you need the sadness to like bring the happiness after that. So I'm really hoping that like if we do lose Rocket or another character or anybody else during the movie that is meaningful to any of these characters, I'm hoping they take a beat and like let the characters feel it and let the audience feel it with them so that when you continue the movie, you can really feel it with them and like continue that journey.
Okay. Andrew, do you have any thoughts based off of what Brandy had to say? And then as well on your own, what's your take? I mean, how do you feel in terms of just, I guess, in general, not just do you think the film will have the kind of serious tone maybe that it should have? But do you think it'll be a quality movie?
I think they're going to put all their eggs in one basket on this one, because this is like this is their last, hurrah. So I think they're going to try to give us everything possible that the fans want, within reason, and what's capable of them to pull off, and on their side of the deal there. But I mean, I hope it's going to be a really good movie because what's the point of having a third one and it's just like, damn, you gave us lackluster for the finale. I just don't see them doing that to the fans. So I think they're gonna do everything they possibly can to make this the best one.
Okay. Do you have anything else? Do you have any other thoughts? You can take as much time as you want, Andrew.
Well, about Rocket though, I think they're just showing way too much, implying that he's gonna die. That I don't think he's actually gonna die, because of like how they're like keep trying to show a lot of it. Like they keep like hinting towards it so much that I don't think it's gonna happen that way. In my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, honestly, I'm 50-50 on it. I wouldn't say that I'm for sure that Rocket's going to die. I just think it's been heavily rumored. What do you think, Chris? What's your take on the overall scope of like how this film's going to fare?
I'm with Brandy. I'm like Brandy. I love the Thor movies, and then Thor and Love and Thunder. It started off in that vein, and then it fizzled out. It was really weirdly fizzled out. Um, I just couldn't guess why they went the direction they did, especially with Gore the God Butcher and the way they did everything. But I have trust in James Gunn because his product so far has proven, like I said before, he's telling a story, and he obviously has a way to wrap this up nicely, where I don't think it's going to be a dead stop. Like, this is it. Like, we know this is the last of this team. They said it. This is the last of this team. If you're a fan like myself, you know the Guardians, there's different iterations, just like it's different iterations of the Avengers, it's different iterations of the X-Men. You might have certain core members there still, but you're always going to get new team members. So this might be, yes, this is the last we see of this team, but they're leaving it open. I think he's going to leave it open-ended, so they, later on down the line, when they decide they want to do another Guardians film, they can say, hey, we can grab, this person and this person, and then, because they already started introducing some other people anyway, who were essentially Guardians in one form. So I don't see this being, I see this right now for Marvel. I see this right now being the end of this Guardians. There's nothing left on the slate for any Guardians films in the future, but I think they're going to leave it pretty open-ended to say, okay, if we need to come back to this, we can. Just not right now, because they're setting up other teams right now. They're setting up another group of Avengers. They're setting up really not even Avengers, but they're setting up the next generation of heroes right now. So that story that they're telling with the Guardians will be done for now, and like Dave Bautista said, basically one of the reasons why he was, glad to have this done is like he hates sitting in the makeup chair for all those hours anyway, because that could be a pain in the butt. So, seeing some of these people like finally step away from these roles and move on to do other things, and seeing some people step away from the roles because their story is done, like their particular story. I can see Peter saying, you know what, I like traveling out in space and everything, and then let's go back to Earth for a little while and kind of chill out, because why not? He's got a sister now, he's like, he might want to kick his heels up for a little bit, but they have led to the idea of Rocket being done. And now that I think about it, and like Andrew said, I don't think I'm actually really rethinking it, that it may not be so much a death, but it may be the end of the story he's telling right now, because Rocket's whole thing was he doesn't have a place in the world. He feels like he doesn't have a place in the world or a place in the universe, which is the way he is. He's ornery. He's even Yandu said it. He was like, "You're just like me." We're the same person. We do things to push people away because no one is like us. And seeing what he's encountering, dealing with high evolutionary, let's wrap that story up. Let's Peter's got a sister now, so he's got family again. So let's wrap that story up. Gamora, he might come to terms with the whole Gamora thing, that not being his Gamora. So let's wrap that up. Nebula has come to peace with her other version of sister, but she wants to do more to rectify her past doings. So let's get that going. Drax, his entire story of revenge is done. It was done once they got rid of Thanos, and once that was done, there was nothing else for him to be but the comic relief. So let's wrap that up. So I can see some of these people stepping down and saying, all right, once a Guardian is like an X-Men, once an X-Men, always an X-Men. If the time calls, why not? By the end of this one, Peter probably won't have a Zune anymore. He'll probably have an iPod. He's behind the tech in a couple of decades, but I can see him upgrading a little bit. So I see that happening.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. At least Rocket doesn't have permanent erectile fucking dysfunction like I do from fucking She-Hulk episode 7. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the High Evolutionary can fix that shit, but that's okay. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm playing. Anyways, but no. I'll tell you what though. You know, maybe they could do some kind of spin-off House of Dragon deal, like where since Mantis and Star-Lord are sister and brother now, maybe they could do some some Targaryen type jazz. You feel me? And do some of their own genetic experiments or whatever.
I want to see like a crime cop show of them in nowhere, like being like the bosses of nowhere. The two of them, like brother sister, like crime bosses in nowhere. Like they control the whole thing and just like investigate things.
Like because Peter's very much on the fence.
Yeah.
Like we still have to steal some things, but we can't steal he's telling Drax in the trailer. He's like, we're not killing anybody.
That's right.
You know, we're not killing. He's like, we might steal, but we're not going to kill anybody. You know.
Renee, I'm sorry, Renee. What are you thinking, Renee? I mean, obviously, I think we all know this is going to be a good movie. I'm not concerned about that. Gunn's making this movie. I doubt this is going to be his send off to Marvel, right? Before he ascends over to DC, and I guess he's already really ascended, but. I just don't see him not going out on a high. And I believe in him, just like Chris does, just like everybody else I think does. I believe in Gunn, I do. A lot more than I ever did with Taika. And so I know he knows how to handle the humor. He does. He knows how to give you those pauses.
Yeah.
And give you the real shit. I mean, look at what he did with friggin' Suicide Squad. No, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad was good. It was.
I mean, a perfect example. Take that scene when they're all on the bus and they're talking about like their upbringing, and Bloodshot's talking about how his dad used to berate him and everything else. And you look at Peacemaker and you're thinking that he's smirking and laughing at him, when in reality, by the time you get to the Peacemaker show, you realize, oh, he wasn't smirking and laughing at him. He pretty much had the same upbringing.
Yeah.
And he was just like, damn, like we're more like we thought,
Yeah.
So, no, I'm with you on that. So, Renee, what do you think? I mean, in terms of just the overall quality of the film, I guess for you as a fan, not in general, but for you, what are you looking for, like from this movie for it to work for you?
Well, I usually always stay open to everything. I mean, I don't have a lot of expectations because I'm not that deep into the canon of the Marvel comics, so I tend to take each character just as they are. I think, like you say, it's going to be a finale of all sorts, and I agree. I think Gunn's, I don't have any doubts that Gunn's going to be able to do a good job. I mean, I think he should be just as well as what Raimi did with Doctor Strange, and of course, Raimi, that was his first outing with it, but Gunn's had all of the other two projects, so he's invested into it himself. You're talking about the High Evolutionary, and while y'all were discussing some parts of the character, I was sort of cruising through the Wikipedia. And I noticed he's not, he never really encountered Kang the Conqueror. So I'm wondering if, anyway, since he's the High Evolutionary, is this very powerful guy who can build worlds and build planets. And I think that maybe what we're seeing is another Earth or another Earth. They're not in another timeline. It's just literally another Earth that's in a pocket dimension within our own.
He's more of a guy. He just has a god complex.
Right.
That's really what it is.
Yeah,
he doesn't want anything else. Yeah, he just has a god.
He has that ability. What I'm saying, he has to build the same type of world that Kang the Conqueror himself has built with the TVA and whatnot. So I mean, I'm thinking they have maybe not the same type of powers, but at least they're equal in their creative powers. You know what I'm saying?
He's just extremely smart.
Yeah. So I'm wondering,
even
though they're not really linked, I didn't see anything in the comic series. I'm wondering if somehow maybe they'll be linked up in the saga going forward.
He's think of him like this. Well, maybe for the MCU, but think of him like this. He doesn't have plans for world domination or wiping out planets or wiping out life. He just wants a world he can say, I built and I created and I did this. He has a God complex.
Yeah.
And
but so does Kang.
Yeah, Kang's is just like, I'm running all of this and I have the ability to run all. So his motive is a little different. Like when they are mentioning in the halls of villainy, High Evolutionary is not on the list. Like
no, the High Evolutionary is more of a tinkerer. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he likes to tinker around, and he's almost also kind of pessimistic. He doesn't like Earth. He's not very fond of regular people and regular Earth.
Right.
That's why he creates his own. You know what I mean? Like, but no, he does have what you're talking about though, Renee, is that when he creates Half World or whatever, he does somehow manage to like create this not pocket dimension, but he slows time like a millisecond or something like that to where he's able to fold time and space and then hide Half World from Earth.
Right.
So like that's what he does, if that makes any sense. Like he's deep, the shit he can do. But it's not it's different. It's not necessarily the same thing as that's a good connection though. No, but if anything, honestly, I think he's a good villain because when you think about it, this movie is fan service for the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? It's a send off to these characters and whatnot. You don't want Ultron in this bitch, right?
No.
You want the High Evolutionary, right? So does that make sense, Renee? That he's not going to be kind of like on the warpath as much as like tinkering and prodding and.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I
Like-
was just wondering though how they're going to handle that. But I mean, they could be totally unrelated. I mean, they never, cross paths or anything. But I was just wondering, since he's going to be this sort of, and I mean, he's going to be a villain, whatever his motives. He's still going to be the villain.
Don't forget, Adam Warlock is going to be a villain kind of too, because Aisha's pissed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's still pissed about the ancillary batteries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking batteries, man.
No.
Hang on. I'm going to predict
Go ahead.
that Adam Warlock and Manus will hook up.
Okay. A couple.
or at any rate they mesh well because you figure he's fresh out the cocoon, so he has no, despite his appearance of being a fully grown person, he has no connection with living.
He has no penis.
He just doesn't know the differences between right and wrong because he's a baby. He's technically a baby.
Yeah.
So I can see that where he's doing things, he's feeling threatened, he's doing this and that, and it because he's this powerful being, and he's just he's reacting to things. So I can see Mantis being the one to say, hey, this is not the vibe we're trying to give you. There's this misunderstanding.
Okay.
I could see that happening because he is. I'm glad they held him back because originally in the Infinity Gauntlet, he's a factor.
No, and don't go to it. Don't start that conversation because
no, man.
Yeah, that no. Let's cut it there. No, but Renee, honestly, just as the last question for you, and then we're gonna go into plugs. Just I guess in terms of the fact that however they end up manifesting the film, however the dichotomy plays out in terms of what we're used to from the MCU, right? Our usual formula or our usual structure with the big bad and the the good guy, all that kind of deal. However they end up flushing it out, right? I think at the end of the day, as long as it's entertaining, that's all that matters, right? And do you feel like the film will be entertaining, and then at the same time it will also be a good send off?
Oh yeah. I have no doubts about that. I'm just wondering if how much of it's going to factor into the saga going forward, or whether it's just going to be like tying up, the storylines for the characters and whatnot. It just sort of, we don't really hear from them too much after that. I mean, I don't know how it's going to do. I mean, I guess we'll know some toward the end once we see the movie. Some of that should be more obvious, but just whatever. Like I said again, I I've got real high hopes for it, and of course I said that about Thor 4 too.
Oh God, please don't get me started.
But honestly, this one I have better hopes.
Well, hey, I'm telling you right now, there's no way that anything could be as bad as Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, I don't know. Am I the only one here that does anyone else here agree with me that Thor: Love and Thunder is actually worse than the second Thor film?
Dark World.
Dark World.
Yeah.
I think Thor: Love and Thunder is worse.
Yeah, there was some moments that just I'm like, that you missed a mark here, and it really did come off like, okay, let's get this over with. That's how it came. That's how it felt for me. It felt like, all right, let's get this over with.
Andrew,
I wanted this. I just didn't see enough.
I'm sorry, Chris. Andrew, we haven't heard you from you in a minute. Did you think Thor: Love and Thunder was basically just a piece of shit, like I did, essentially overall?
It was it was just, it was worth a one-time watch. That's about that. Yeah, like, I wouldn't watch it again. It was fun for what it was, and that's about it. I didn't really, nothing excited me about it. I wasn't really like overwhelmed or like, oh wow, that was such a good part. Stuff. It was just a mediocre. They just half-assed filming that, and just, I don't know. It just didn't resonate with me well.
Well, at least now there's something worse than the Eternals, right? That's a positive. You know what I'm saying? Chloe Zhao's off the hook. That's always positive. There you go. So that's the silver lining and everything, right, Chris?
Damn.
You feel me? Now the Eternals is like some all-star shit.
Oh God.
Charles wasn't that bad a movie. I
didn't think it was bad. I liked it.
She won an Oscar.
Well,
people are impatient, man. You need storylines and character development.
That's that. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have that at the beginning. Oh God.
Fucking Jar Jar, man. I'm telling you. Fucking Jar Jar. Anyways, folks. All right. So listen, we'll probably, what we'll end up doing is probably, we'll probably end up like just wrapping up, kind of just tying off Guardians of the Galaxy 3, kind of final thoughts and whatnot on another show. Next Sunday, folks, we're doing Loki Season 2. All of you already know that. I've already told all of you that and whatnot. Of course, you guys are on the panel and whatnot and everything. If any of you want to come back on this week, you're welcome. I've still got open spots in the panel. I think I've got 2. So, but they're very coveted, believe me. When the Loki Season 2 gets brought up to other creators, their fucking eyes pop out of their head. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't blame them either. I mean, honestly, it's probably the one sure thing we might get from Disney Plus this year. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think I'm highly optimistic about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I really am. I think it's going to be a great send-off to these characters and to Gunn. We'll see what happens. But either way, I'm very thankful to all of you for being on the panel with us and whatnot and everything. As I mentioned in the private chat, Renee, if you want to continue the dialogue and talk for another half hour or whatever and bullshit beyond our plugs, you're more than welcome to. It's up to you. Anybody from the panel wants to stick around, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, handle your business. But I'll start with the gentlemen first, actually, then the ladies. And I'll start with you, Andrew, and then you, Chris. And now, Andrew, I know you're not a creator necessarily, but would you like to kind of maybe just talk about, for instance, like the reaction videos we did last night?
Yeah, you just actually showed me a new band that I'm actually curious, but I can't listen to anymore until you actually show them to me. So now I have to sit and wait and stew and anticipate.
Is it pissing you off?
It's more like an itch I can't scratch yet. It's like, come on, man. It's like, when you're waiting in line at the DMV and you're like, man, I'm 2 ticket numbers away. Like, I'm almost there.
Oh, you know what, Renee? I might have to go ahead and crush that bullshit session and whatnot and everything, so I can do some more reactions.
You could take care of that, because after this, I got to run and do something real quick. But I mean, after I get that, we can do it. Maybe like another hour.
All right, sounds good. I'm down. And Chris, that's totally down, man. No, I think that sounds great, Andrew. We could do that in an hour. And also, you are, of course, Jasmine's boyfriend and partner.
Yes.
That's right.
Do you want to give out your info?
It's weird. It's weird having his name up there in her face.
I know. It's been fucking me up the whole time.
Sorry. Well, babe, do you want to give out your info for the end of the show so people can contact you who are listening?
Oh no, I'll do that. Believe me, she'll get plenty of chances to do her plugs and whatnot and everything. We've got plenty of shows coming up.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I say thank you for having me. I can't wait to start doing more of these with you.
No problem, brother. It was good having you on for the first time. I really appreciate it. And tell Jez that I'll see her soon when we do, The Last of Us on Wednesday night. Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
And I'll be there for that too, so.
There you go. All right, Chris, my friend, before you dip out of here, do your plugs, brother.
All right, it is your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Why do they call me that? It's a Nick Fury reference. Check it out. Check us out, Blurred's Eye View, every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The Twitch handle is Blurred's Eye View 1. You can on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, same channels. Check out the YouTube channel, Blurred's Eye View Podcast, on Facebook or on YouTube. I'm sorry. And be sure to hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, show some love. Get those numbers up, baby. Let's talk about it. You can watch past episodes and listen to past episodes wherever you listen to your podcast, including Opulence Radio. And shout out to iHeartRadio and our sponsors, Ultimate Wireless and Opulence Radio. So just coming off the end of that 48-hour marathon. That was fun.
You got me interested in that. Now I'm gonna look that up after the show. Now I want to hear about how that all went down.
Yeah, it was DC and our sponsor put that together. We had like 29 podcasters and creators on, and it varied from everything. Whether it was stuff on my show, whether it was stuff from What the Shit, and then whether it was relationship stuff, and then like it was some after dark stuff because it was going all night. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Like a couple of us, I told them, I was like, I got to dip out. I got to save my voice. I got a show Tuesday. I got to rest up and get the promo together.
I think I'll stick to doing threesomes.
That was intense, but it was fun. It was fun. You got to meet a lot of other creators.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you didn't cross paths with, and it was like a family unit. When it was all said and done, it was like we spent more time talking to that than we did our own families.
I would be
and probably wanted to.
Chris, you know damn well that you probably met creators that I know, right?
Yeah,
I guarantee you that we probably both crossed paths with several people that you probably were part of that.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't shock me. You know how many people of color tend to flock to me for some reason. I don't know what it is about me, but they like my white ass. So, I don't know. Maybe it's because I make fun of myself so much. Or maybe it's because I like Chadwick so much. I don't know.
But yeah, it was definitely fun. Definitely.
That's
fun.
awesome, dude. And listen, man, it's good to have you back, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on. It was wonderful to chill with you and whatnot. Chris is a real deal Marvel comic books fan, just like me and whatnot. Him and I fuck like that. Just like Lord Deathman from Podcast of Champions, baby, and Art Stanton and everybody like that. So him and I have that same mind type shit. On that stuff. But so it's good to see you, Chris. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Man. Nice meeting you, Brandy. Nice talking to you, Renee. I will talk to you guys later.
All right, take care. Brandy, my friend.
Yeah.
Tell us about your intense drunken podcast.
So you can find us. It's called Drunk Bitches Be Like. You can find us on all the podcasting apps, anything that you're on. We're on Apple, Google, all the things. iHeartRadio, all those things. If you're looking for us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all those things, it's usually DBBL Podcast. So if you search for us there, you can find us. So we're on there. It's just the two of us. It's me and my good friend Mindy, and we get drunk and have a lot of fun talking about our past experiences and just like chit chat the night away. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we get a little heavy, but most of the time we're just drunk and talking about stupid shit that we've done in our past, which is pretty fucking funny. We've both had pretty interesting lives, so I highly recommend it. If you just want somebody to get drunk with and like chill, like get drunk and just listen to our podcast, and you've got a third, fourth person there, or second, third person there, whatever. It's a fun time.
Yeah, Renee, I think you should definitely hook up with Brandy and her co-host. I think you'd have a blast with them.
Mm-hmm.
You guys would probably have I think Renee would probably be a really solid guest for you guys, to be honest with you.
Well, I could bring the older perspective. The old,
well,
the older
so
drunk perspective to it.
I'm hitting. So I'm turning 40 this year, and
Oh,
Mindy
spring chicken.
is 12 years older than me, I think. So she's
Mm-hmm.
50. She's in the 50 to 52 range, and she's going to kill me that I don't know how old she is. But I'm always drunk whenever she mentions it, so I never remember how old she is. So you know. But,
so who gives better drunken head? With the age gap and everything.
We haven't actually discussed that, but I'm going to guess Mindy because I don't like to do that. So you know.
Oh, damn.
Gag reflex. It's a problem.
Hey, you know what? When you have an extremely tiny, irreversible erectile dysfunction penis anyway,
yeah,
it's not even a problem.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Nope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Nothing can't even happen. Not even logical. You know. But anyways, no. I would absolutely love to collaborate with you guys, Brandy. Next time you come back on, I promise, I'll pull up your stuff. I'll pull up your pod and whatnot and everything and all that, and I'll show it on the screen. I'll screen share it. We'll show everybody and whatnot and everything. You know, I think that does help. It has to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll get your info and everything for the descriptions on the YouTube and the podcast and all that and whatnot. I'll get all your stuff up and whatnot and everything. And like I said, next time you come on, I'll make sure that I write myself a note and make sure that I pull up all your stuff online. Just like I should have done with Chris and everything and whatnot, you know. Just, you know, it's a little bit nice thing to try to do with the guests. But it was wonderful recording with you. Did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a fantastic time. Thank you so much. I love talking Marvel. So anything Marvel, I'm always... Do you see my little Lego? It's my Milano.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I built a little Lego Milano.
Well, you see, I do have a Captain Marvel poster, just to be clear.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
There you go. There you go. So, you're not the only one.
Yeah, so, you know, I love my Marvel. So anytime you want to talk Marvel, I'm all in.
Awesome. Well, Renee, do you have anything to say? Do you have any plugs or anything or whatnot?
Renee, it was nice meeting you. Thank you so much.
Brandy. Bye-bye.
Take care, Brandy.
No, I don't actually have anything to plug, Jeff. I think we're going to we're talking about doing the Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's what I was actually going to mention was that, you know what? I don't have time to even mess around and do any kind of longer segment or whatever and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I've got to watch the rest of the Last of Us because I only got probably about 38 minutes into it or so. Mm-hmm. All right, and that's when I stopped it right there. Mm-hmm. I told you I did. Yeah.
Just go back and restart it. Just watch the whole thing and then watch episode 2 because I think it's available now. So.
Yeah, that's right. And you go ahead and do the plug. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're gonna Jeff and I and a great group of folks are gonna come on and do the Last of Us. It's on HBO Max currently showing. I think the second episode begin airing tonight on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right now.
And also it stars from The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal. We see his face the whole time, so that's a big plus. And it's dystopian and kind of Lovecraftian type stuff going on. I think it's horror and sci-fi and everything mixed together. And I think it's good. First episode so far that I have seen was really good. I really enjoyed it. So we're going to give the whole series a shot.
The daughter's great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna start. That's what I'm gonna be doing when I get off of here. I just realized I've got a lot of homework to do. I've got to get familiar with the cast. Mm-hmm. I've got to put my work in and whatnot and get ready for the series. But that's gonna be a lot of fun, folks. We are gonna bust off a episode 1 and 2 review this Wednesday evening. Renee, Loki's mom, is gonna come back to the main Wednesday show for the first time in ages. Mm-hmm. Right? It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
So. I'm assembling a team right now. I mean, based off of, we already have our sort of like quasi-regulars and whatnot that'll come in on and off and whatnot. Just since I've already went ahead and let some gone on Facebook and went into some of the creator chats and groups and stuff and whatnot and mentioned we're going to cover the series. Mm-hmm. I've already had people reaching back to me and whatnot and asking me about it already. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it doesn't surprise you at all, Renee. People want to do something different right now. Mm-hmm. They do. So I think that, I don't know about you, but I feel very invigorated. I'm really excited. I can't wait to review it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun. And we're going to, and I promise folks, I've sworn to Cyber that when we do our 2-episode review on Wednesday, we are not going to go any longer than 2.5 hours long. That is like, we can't do it. Literally. Like, or that's it. Like, I'm at that point, like, I'm going to be in the doghouse with Cyber. So I can't be having that.
Okay.
No, but it sounds like it's going to be a blast. And, oh, you know what, Renee? Guess what? I didn't even tell you. We're actually going to do our first DC animated film review.
Oh, okay.
On Friday. That's right. I forgot to mention to you until now. We're gonna start off with Superman, Doomsday.
Okay.
Is the first one that we're gonna do. We don't have access to the entire library, right? HBO Max doesn't have all of it. Some of it's on Amazon Plus, Amazon Prime, right? So either way, no, we are gonna do our first DC animated film review on Friday. So hey, of course you're welcome to come on if you want for that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I've never done we talked about this before. I've never done an animated review before. So other than What If.
Yeah.
But either way, no, what do you call it? Besides that, we're gonna do our 10K subscriber special or whatever next Friday after that.
Oh, okay.
That's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to. Yeah, I'm chopping up some old clips for some old shows for some blooper reels. Of like to all of us, like on our the stupidest moments and whatnot and everything. And I'm trying to assemble some of the old team to come back and whatnot and everything. And we're gonna have our special.
Okay.
And do our 10K subscriber special and whatnot, which I'm sure you'll at least stop by.
Yeah, I will absolutely. I'll stop by.
Yeah, that's what we're basically gonna do.
I'm gonna pull it. I haven't seen the movie yet.
No, that's okay.
I'll be there in the spirit.
I'm asking everybody to just come on for like 5 minutes or something. You know what I mean? And just say hi.
Okay, yeah,
you know what I mean and whatnot. You know, like hey everybody. You know what's going on? Hey Cyber. Hey Jeff. Whatever. You know. Hey Jasmine. See you later. You know what I mean? You know that kind of deal. That's all. Okay. Just something to give back to everybody that helped us get up to 10K.
Okay.
You know, but no, but besides that, I will say that I don't know as far as the Podcast of Champions is going, they're active right now, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they have in store though. I think they're wanting to do a kind of like what we did as far as a wrap up of well, actually, we haven't done that yet. We're talking about the DC, the effects of DC and what's going to
be. Oh, Gun and everything and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that show's been planned, but for whatever reason, it's been delayed. So.
That's right, and you know, also I want to mention too that basically, as far as I'm concerned, unless Renee and I decide to do something different, we're just going to keep on kicking off and doing these Phase 5, Phase 6 preview shows until we get tired of doing them. If we get tired of doing them before Secret Invasion comes out, we'll find something else to do. That would be hard. Yeah. But in the meantime, no matter what, next Sunday's Loki season 2, and we ain't playing around. This is gonna be a deep dive. We're doing a full deep dive Loki season 2. Like it's gonna be no joke.
Right into Hiddleston land.
Yep. Like I've already been doing my research. We're gonna have Jeremiah back on. Right. His friend Rich from CBR. Might come on too. Believe me, as I've already said, there's several people who want to be on that panel. So it's going to be a good show. It's going to be very serious. There's not going to be much joking or fucking around on that one.
Okay.
You know that I'll tell you right now. But I guess for you, Renee, for the rest of the panel, for myself, for Cyber, for Dodger, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, just a shout out to Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, what else? The Ronin, he also plays. I think everybody knows he had that horrible accident with a snowplow, and if you saw any pictures or anything of that plow, that was not some little backyard thing. That was like a major earth moving equipment. Apparently he is recovering, but I think he does have some really bad injuries. So we wish him well. Hopefully he can recover from everything and get back in the swing. But whatever happens, I think we all the fans love Jeremy, and and we wish him well.
Except for William.
Even William. I think even William.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I think even William would set aside his animosity for the time being.
It was a snowplow accident. He broke 30 bones. and basically, I mean, it looks like he's gonna be alive. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, like, I mean, I honestly, I'm glad that you mentioned this, Renee, because I'd heard some really bad stuff that he lost a limb potentially or whatever. But apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they have put out, what little bit they put out, his press people or whatever. It's pretty serious, you know. But it looks like he's gonna, you know, pull through it. So.
Yeah, that's true. I'm reading an article right now. Chris Evans went to see him, and he talked about, like, you know, what Renner's demeanor is like and whatnot and everything right now, where he's at in his recovery. But no, God bless him. God bless his family. I love Jeremy Renner. I do. Hawkeye is one of my favorite Avengers. I think he's, like, honestly one of, like, the heart of the Avengers in a way to me. I've always felt that way about the Avengers. Without, like, in Age of Ultron, he almost, like, made the team in a way. I felt like, you know.
And Renner's such a good actor. I mean, he
is.
They're against what I've always said, that they find the actors that can come in and flesh these parts on the page out. You know, they have to do it that way. The writer and the director can't do it all.
That's right. And nobody ever talks about the casting of Hawkeye.
Right.
All anybody ever talks about is casting Captain America, Iron Man, right? Think about that. I never thought about that until now.
Right. Right,
No.
they had and Brenner kind of plays. I mean, he's played heavy. He's played good guys. He's played heroes, and he's played. And just like you said, excellent actor. I mean, there was I think the movie called The Town that set in Boston. It was oh my gosh, he was so good in that movie, and I believe he's been nominated for Oscars and all kinds of awards. And you know, if he can't get back and become, you know, full time or whatever, that's you know, we don't know if that's going to be possible or not. But you know, I think he can hopefully just keep going, getting better and better, and come back to us.
Well, yeah, I mean, he broke out, essentially, based off of I forgot the name of the director, the female director that directed the film, the Hurt Locker film. Yes, that's where I think he got isn't that where he got nominated for an Academy Award?
I believe so. Yeah.
It was either I know that I think the film won it that year. It won Best Picture. It did.
He played back before he was really known. He played. It was kind of a budget movie, but on Jeffrey Dahmer, and which was very brave. I mean, for a young actor who was unknown to sort of jump in that role. I mean, and then sort of like take the risk of being tagged, you know, as that weirdo whatever character. I mean, but yet he really moved on from it, and just, you know, you see him doing, you know, character parts and supporting parts and whatnot, but then eventually he started, you know, and he's had several movies, I think, where he's played the lead, and golly, offhand, I wish I had it pulled up. I can't think of them, but I think, golly,
He doesn't
have Locker.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that leading man charisma or like look to him or whatever and whatnot. If anything, I'd say that not to get long-winded on this, but he works in specific roles. As playing specific characters, he's very, very, very effective, right? Other ones not as well, I guess, right? He's not like your Tom Cruise type where you could just throw him into something.
No. He's a character actor.
Yes.
And that's what I would class him as.
No, and what I think is awesome about and on a positive note, and I'm sure he's going to be okay. Jeremy Renner, I do think he'll pull through. He's a strong guy, but I never thought about the fact that nobody ever talks about the casting of Hawkeye. Right? You never hear that conversation. I don't remember ever having that dialogue with anybody about, like, you know, they could have cast somebody else for Hawkeye other than him or whatever, right? I never had that happen before. Right? Like, you know, say what William can say what he wants, but I'm pretty sure you'd agree, that, Renee, that for Jeremy Renner, becoming Hawkeye worked out pretty damn well for him. Right? It definitely benefited his legacy and his pockets, you know, I think pretty well. So, God bless him, and God bless you. And let me hit the outro, and I'll see you in the studio.
All right.
Or if you want to peace out, you can peace out. It's on you.
Oh, I'll stick around for a few minutes.
All right, then. That's what friends are for, folks.
Oh, yeah.